What's up, beautiful people? I wanted to jump in and share this just for fun again. So, a lot of people might be doing this already, but I was able to set this up for a client recently, and it's been super helpful, so I wanted to share it. Um, so, if you work with clients or you yourself um, run things with like a sales team, like a local sales team, where they're like, going out to visit people, a lot of like home improvement stuff will do this. Um, if you've got basically like sales agents or sales reps that cover a particular area, it can sometimes be tough to like keep track of like, okay, where does this lead need to go, who needs to get assigned this, all that kind of stuff. Making the round robin work properly. So high level has like the built-in, and they might have updated this actually since the last time I looked, but they have the built-in team calendars where it will allow you to appointment comes in, somebody books, and it'll like dole that out to the sales reps, just depending on like a whatever kind of like how heavy of a rotation you want everybody to get. Lead number one goes to rep A, lead number two goes to rep A, and then lead number three goes to rep B, that kind of thing. Um, but that doesn't quite solve the issue of, okay, this rep covers this zip code, or they cover over here and over here. Um, and, how do we make sure that the right people are assigned in the areas that they cover and there's not weird overlap and stuff like that? So this is a nifty little workflow that can kind of help you with that. So basically you can set it up to where, the trigger obviously can be whatever you want it to be. It could be an appointment. It could be just a form being filled out or whatever. But then you can set up some if else conditions to basically cause the system to say the only requirement is that you have to have collected a zip code. I guess you could do it based on a city name, but you have to have one of those pieces of like the customer's address in order for this to work. So zip code is probably the easiest. Um, so if you've collected zip code, you can basically, say, okay, lead comes in. You can put your wait steps or whatever you want to in there. If else, and then you would want to do contact details. And I'm going to go down here and grab postal code. And then you could do is, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Um, oops, that's too many numbers. So you could do that. So you could do single ones like that. So I could call this branch sales rep A, right? Whatever the rep's name is there. And okay, people with that zip code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they're going to go to him or her. Or if they cover a different area or like a larger area than that, you could put in, you can add conditions to this. Obviously, you would want to use the or logic here, and you could add, you know, as many as you want to. I've built ones before that literally have like 30 zip codes in here. So a little time intensive, but once you set it up, it's done. Um, so then I could do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that, right? And then you can add, okay, if they have this one or this one, then they're gonna go to this next rep. So sales rep A, and then let me, you could add a second branch. Let's see, nope. And then add a branch. Sales rep B, and then you do the same thing right there. It's gonna make me do it. Okay, so yeah, then you'd have that one in there, and you could build out, as many branches as you want to, um, with as many zip codes in each one as you want, and then under each one, you would just go assign to user so and so, right? And then under this one, assign to the other so and so user. And that way you keep everything really clean. Again, as long as you're collecting, you could do it with city name or zip code. Then you can have this sort of like filter people through. And you could also just build this out. And, if you haven't done this yet, but you got like a list of leads that like need a home, right? Need to be assigned to somebody, then you could just build this out and then like drop people in here, and then assign them to reps. And then from here, then you could send the reps the notifications, all that kind of stuff. Just like put a delay in here to where like messages and stuff like that get sent out from the reps, after that fact, after they've been assigned, and then you can include the tags of like user.name, user.email, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully that's helpful. Again, a lot of people might know this already, but figured I'd throw it out there and take and run with it. All right, see y'all later.